What's up, my baddies? It's your boy Ed. This is the Big Bad Network Media, and I'm here again. So today I'm going to follow up on a different video, following and piggybacking off the last video. And the last video I spoke about just my experience. Well, I didn't really speak about it. Well, I spoke a little about my experience, my battle with depression. This is where I get stuck. I don't even know why I'm making this video. That's really true. But I just feel like I have to make this video. And then when I sit out of my computer and everything, the thoughts flow. But then when I get in front of this, I just get stuck and I don't know where to start. And then I try again. And there's no good way to do it that I know. There are many good ways to do it, in fact. But I guess I'll just start here. Speaking about my battle with depression over the last couple of years, some valid questions, maybe some things along the line of how long have I been feeling this way? And my answer to that would be I've been feeling this way longer than I knew. I've been feeling this way a very long time. At the making of this video, I'm 32 years old. I've been feeling this way 90% of my life. The things I realized today as an adult about what I experienced as a child are much more eye-opening to how I was developing, and also very, in a weird way, reasonably familiar, of course. I can understand why I behaved a certain way, or I can reflect that, oh, it's normal that I behaved a certain way then, because I didn't know I was battling with depression as a kid. I didn't understand that I was. What a typical day looks like for me is a lot of laying down, a lot of pacing back and forth, phone calls, checking my email, scrolling for hours, lots of scrolling, lots of social media, small attempts into things that I like or that I invest my interest into. I don't mind a day like that or usual like that, except for the laying around part. Eating a snack, eating food or something. My mood most days is just kind of blank or good. I get really good days, and then some days it's the in-between. 30 days out of the month, I would get 10 really good days. The other 20, I feel heavy. I feel like this dark cloud covers everything that I'm doing and follows me everywhere. I feel like I don't want to be seen. I feel like I can't be enough. I lack the inspirations and the motivations that I want. And then I have to get up and fight through that. I experience feelings of hopelessness and worthlessness often. It's quite too familiar that I feel that way about myself. Some things that make the anxiety worse, I would say, are jobs, driving, meeting people, making mistakes, getting into infractions with others, figures of authority, on and so on. But one of the things that I talked about as well in my other video is when you get to the point where you feel numb and you find security in feeling numb and disconnected from your emotions or your surrounding. There are many physical and behavioral symptoms if you observe them in anybody or some people. For example, for me, I don't sleep much. I'm a night owl, and then I'll sleep a few hours into the morning, and then I'm up again. My brain is just going. I can't really stay asleep. I keep waking up in the middle of my sleep. If I do sleep, my appetite is insane. It fluctuates. One day I'm hungry, the next day I'm not hungry, and then when I'm hungry, I binge. I can't stop eating. I'm gaining weight now. It's different. I feel tired. I have muscle tensions, and I just feel like I want to breathe. I need to breathe. I need to find a way to just breathe. Some thoughts trigger. Some worries as well trigger anxiety. Watching things like graphic videos triggers people getting yelled at. Physical harm, really, to the body. I think it's important to have friends and family and someone in your life who knows this about you and understand you as the complex human being that you are. Everybody deserves to be understood. And dealing with depression and anxiety or mental health in general, people always feel less than most of the time. And so talking about it with anybody other than your shrink or psychiatrist or counselor, just it's not the same because there isn't a course of treatment. There isn't aspiration or hope. And for me, that's kind of the sentiment often. And I would say my whole life, I still haven't found that person that I can talk about this with and say, this is who I am and this is what I come with. And it's hard. And if you're not cool with it, I understand, but that's what it is. Nobody has to be cool with it, but it's not a choice either. I would say though, when you start thinking really low of yourself to the point where you're thinking very graphic, call for help. There's always someone out there who will hold your hand, who will pull you back into the light. I think so. I know that. There's always someone out there, and we all know. There's always someone. And for all of those who feel like there isn't, even in those moments, I want you to believe that there is a person out there waiting for you to call them to save you. I've had all my brushes with death, and it's interesting to perceive life from this perspective. It's different. Meditation or therapy, I would say, works. Try it. And if it doesn't work with someone, try it with someone else. If something doesn't work, observe that it doesn't, but open your mind to other things and continue to aspire to get the help that you need. And you will find outlets that will be a resource for you. Sometimes thinking about the future and your day-to-day life, this becomes a huge concern because you have to be able to operate and function at the expected capacity, be it your job, be it your interactions with family members, or whatever your occupations are and interactions are. Or if it is you're a student, whatever you have as a daily responsibility, you have to be able to perform. It impacts daily life. And that's also a very difficult part to deal with. It impacts the way you prepare yourself to be perceived in the world and the outcomes that you want to produce for yourself. Sometimes it feels as though you're letting yourself down, and the expectations of yourself are just lessened, and you give into it as well. It's a double-edged sword in a way. Not enjoying activities that you used to enjoy, or no longer finding pleasures in the things that gave you pleasure. Those are some ways that it impacts just your being, your daily being, your daily life, the goals and expectations. But through therapy, I'm hoping to achieve a lot of enlightenment on how to cope, on how to be aware, and how to be what's the word I want to say? Simply just more self-aware of my ailment and in a way study how I can treat myself and then continue to shape my life in a way that coexists with a treatment that I can continue to follow. And maybe I'll have to follow many different treatments and completely change the way that I live my life. In many ways, changing the ways that I've been living my life over the last couple of years is showing to make a huge difference. If I'm able to manage my anxiety and depression better, I envision that I will live a very prosperous, calm, and engaging life. Thanks, my baddies. It's been my pleasure having you over here on my channel. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share some thoughts. I'm your host, Ed, and on this one, I'm out.